guys, and welcome back to my channel, and today I have a slightly different video for you because I have just received, let me grab it, this parcel from Amazon, and it includes a new camera that I've ordered. And I'm not like a technology channel or anything like that, but when I filmed my video when I got my new phone, the iPhone 8 Plus, that became one of my most popular uploads. I feel like people are like me, where they like to watch reviews of what other people think of a product, especially before you buying it, when it's more than just like a small purchase, when it's something that you actually like invest in money in. People want to know what other people think, so I thought I would upload my 2 cents on the camera. I haven't even opened it up yet, so I'm going to do the whole unboxing on camera, hopefully just include a little bit more information about the camera and help you decide whether or not it will be a good choice for you. So without further ado, let me crack this box open. So here is the camera. I got the Sony Dsc-Wx500. There's several reasons why I chose this camera. This is a more of a kind of budget camera, especially for those that are looking for something like the Canon G7X Mark II, which is really popular with kind of YouTubers and vloggers and things like that. I wanted something that had the features of that, but I didn't have the budget to buy that camera. So I did loads of research and I decided to go for this one because it is so comparable to that camera, but just so much cheaper as well. I also got some Amazon vouchers for Christmas, so I put that towards this, and it made it obviously so much more affordable for me. But the main two reasons, I guess, why I chose this particular camera and the features that I was looking for the most out of a kind of compact camera is the flip screen, which I'll show you, but this has got 180 flip screen, which is amazing. It's going to make filming videos so much easier, especially with a newborn. And it also has Wi-Fi, so it means that you can sync up the camera to a phone, a tablet, whatever it might be that you would prefer to actually sync the camera to. But it means that you can actually transfer photos and videos straight from here to whatever device of your choosing, really, which is going to be amazing, considering you could take better Instagram photos than that, transfer it to your phone, you could do videos, transfer it to your computer, whatever it might be. It's a really handy feature to have on a camera, which is why I wanted to pick this up. There's so many reasons why I wanted a new camera. Not only filming videos is going to be so much easier, like I said, with a newborn. At the moment I have a DSLR and then a mirror behind, because the DSLR doesn't have a flip up screen, so I have to look in the mirror to see what I'm filming, make sure I'm in frame and stuff. So this is going to eliminate this whole setup. And also the fact that I want a compact camera, so that if we're out and about with her, then we can, film loads of photos and videos of our baby girl growing up, which I personally love watching, like family videos and stuff. So that's basically the reason why I chose to pick this up. There's so many more amazing features on this. For example, it has 4K capability, takes SD cards, it's got HDMI ports, it films in full 1080p HD film, which is obviously amazing and what you want for a camera. It's 18.2 megapixels, it has a 30 times optical zoom, and if you've watched any other videos, you'll know that the zoom capability on this camera is phenomenal. Like, I've not seen that type of zoom in on like a compact camera, so that's amazing. And yeah, it's kind of just ticks all the boxes. I don't need anything too high tech, but this is going to be an amazing camera and I'm so excited to try it out. So I thought I'd just share my initial first impressions, and then I can do an updated review if you want to find out more. If you have any questions and you're watching this video that I don't answer, do let me know in the comments. But I will open the box up and show you what's inside, and I'll also show you the other things that I've got to coincide with the purchase, so that you guys can understand what I've picked up and how I've got this thing on the go. So immediately as you open this up, you have what looks like a manual on top. Also European guarantee information document. You then have kind of leaflets, information about the Wi-Fi connection, so you can, I think, download an app to sync the photos, or if you have an Android device that has NFC, then you can actually transfer them like that, which is pretty cool, especially as this camera came out a few years ago. So that's really good. And then you've got more information about the camera itself to set up and stuff. So that's what's sitting on top of the box before I'm actually into the camera. Then when I open it up like so, you've got the camera here, and then you've got a load of different leads. So the first lead, this is an adapter, so that you've got like a wall plug in here, and then you've also got a micro USB to actually charge the camera, which is awesome. So I've got those are awesome because you can charge the battery whilst it's still in the camera if you prefer to do that. I have ordered a separate battery charger and additional batteries for the camera because for me, it would be better for me to actually charge the batteries whilst it's out of the camera, because I'll probably be using the camera with a spare battery in it, if that makes sense. But it's good that you've got that ready to set up, because I will need to charge it whilst it's in the camera today because that hasn't yet arrived. Within the box as well, you get a wrist strap. Now this seems pretty old school and not a lot of people still use them. However, this camera doesn't have a lot of grip, so you will probably want to consider actually using this to prevent you kind of dropping it and stuff like that. It's something silly but well worth using, especially once you get used to the camera, I think. And last but not least, you've got the camera inside the box, and then that is the box empty. So I'll just put that up there. So this is the camera itself. It looks so good. It's a really good small size, but it still feels kind of heavy. It doesn't feel too light, it doesn't feel too unsturdy, if that makes sense. It's got a nice kind of metal frame. It feels kind of expensive, if that makes sense. It doesn't feel like it's a cheap product. It feels really nice. It's a nice matte black. I obviously went for the black. I think you can get it in, you definitely get it in white and then different variations of colour, but for me, I much prefer a black camera. I would have been toyed between the black and the white, to be honest, but the black was a little bit cheaper, so I went for this one, and I quite like black things, like my iPhone is black, things like that. So just the first impressions of how it looks really, really sleek, really lovely, and yeah, it does look really, really nice. You also get, this is like the feature that I wanted the most, so you get that flip screen, which is amazing. So it will sit above and you can see how you're framed in the shot, and then you can film video, things like that. But even that itself has got a bit of resistance, which is nice, because I've tried out some other cameras that are very spongy to kind of go up and down, there's no resistance, and then over time that becomes very lack, and then it doesn't really stand up, and that was one of the first things to go in the camera. However, that just feels so nice. The build of this is so lovely, and yeah, just first impressions, it looks really nice. It does look like it cost a lot more than it did. Because this camera came out a few years ago, I managed to get it for a really good deal on Amazon, so I'll leave the links down below if you want to check it out yourself. I'm obviously in the UK, so if you're watching from elsewhere, I'm sure that you'll be able to find it for a really good price in whatever country you're in. But for me, I got it in the UK, and yeah, really, really good. I'm really impressed with how it looks at the moment. So I'll try, and I don't think it's got any charge. I've just realised, like the idiot that I am, the battery is still in the box there. So I'll just put that in and see if we've got any charge in the battery to just see what it looks like from the get-go. I've also ordered a memory card. So I've gone for a SanDisk 64 gig. This is a class 10 one, and I use this in my DSLR, so I know that it's a really good memory card, pretty standard. But I went for 64 gig because I could do with a lot more memory on my cameras. So I will see if this has got enough charge to just give you like a bit of first impressions on how the camera actually performs. I've just put the battery and the SD card in this bottom compartment there, and that just sits in quite nicely. And then you just push it down and then you lock that. So that's locked in, and let's just see what it's like, if it's got any charge. Yep, so we've got a bit of charge on here, and so it will just go through the setup. So it's just asking for the language and then the area you're in. So I've got it set up at the moment. There's a little bit of charge on, which is really cool. But even just kind of looking around in my kitchen, it looks like it's a really nice quality of film. It looks really, really good. Obviously, I'll have a little bit of a play with it and then see what I think, but I've just put it on auto. I know that a load of people have said that if you're looking to film or like vlog on it or something like that, you need to go into settings and actually change the file format of the film to MP4, because that's going to be so much better to film in. So I'm going to do that now before I forget. So there's quite a lot of settings to go through, so it's definitely worth playing around when you get the camera. At the top here, all you need to do is slide that, and the flash actually comes out of the camera, which is a really cool feature. I don't think it has like an automatic flash setting, but you can manually decide whether you want flash or not, which isn't that difficult to do. And it's again a really nice kind of spongy resistant feel to the flash there, which is going to mean that it's going to live a little bit longer, which is really good. So the build of this is really nice considering the price, but I do want to show you some test shots of me actually filming using this camera to give you a comparison on how it compares to what I'm filming on my DSLR. I've heard again really good reviews about this having a really good mic. Unfortunately, you can't add an external mic to this, so that might be a downside if that you're into like your filming setup, but I've seen so many good reviews about how good the quality of the mic is. For me, it'll be easier not to have an external mic, but again, something to consider if you're looking to kind of improve your filming setup. So I've managed to change the file format to MP4, which I've just been an idiot. It is really easy. You just need to just work it out. And then I was playing around with kind of just filming and seeing what things are like, and it's got a really good autofocus capability, which is amazing. I'll try and just pick up something to show you what it's like, but I was really impressed considering again the kind of price of the camera and how easy this is going to make filming. So for example, this is just the leaflet. But automatically it tells me that it's macro, and then it goes back to portrait mode, which is really handy, and it's going to make filming videos kind of for YouTube so much easier, and hopefully it helps anyone looking to decide whether or not to buy it. It's so handy having this setup. You don't have to worry about trying to actually focus it. You don't have to press any buttons. It autofocuses itself. I know that there's other settings like beauty settings and stuff, which I'm not too bothered about, but there's loads of things to actually gauge and try, which is amazing. What I do want to do is show you what the zoom's like on the camera, but I am at the moment filming on the Sony and then also my DSLR, so hopefully I can do like a comparative on how each one kind of looks. Obviously I have the DSLR on manual settings to complement the setup that I have, which I haven't done on this new camera yet, so again I can do that. At the moment it's just on auto, just to see what that's like and just to see kind of what the mic's like and things like that. So I'm going to show you what the zoom is like as well, but hopefully this helps to give you like a comparative of whether you have DSLR and you're looking to invest in a point and shoot, or whether you can't decide whether to get a point and shoot or a DSLR. So because you can get DSLRs with like flip up screens and stuff if that's something that you're looking for. But personally I love how compact this is. It's really hard not to look up. I've just been aware that instead of looking into the camera, I'm looking up at the screen, which is going to take a bit of getting used to. But yeah, I'm going to show you what the zoom's like as well, and show you just some more footage on this camera, because so far I'm really impressed with it. I was expecting to be impressed. Obviously you don't buy something hoping it's not going to work as you want it to, but no, I'm really impressed. I think that the build is really nice, it's filming really nice, it's going to be nice to see what it's like when I put it into my editing software and export it, but I won't edit this footage at all. So this is going to be exactly what the camera has recorded. It's no like brightness or anything like that. So let me go into my garden or something and just show you like what the zoom's like and things like that. Okay, so this is the zoom at 30 times in, the optical zoom, which is a nice macro shot. But as I zoom out, that is what it's like that. However, if I try and zoom into the sea, so that's an example of what the zoom is like. I'm not in the best setting to show its full capability because my garden doesn't overlook too much, but it gives you an indication of how far the zoom is, and apologies for the squirmy baby down here. I'm just aware that she's making these noises and my camera might be picking that up. But you know, so far so good. I'm actually more impressed with it than I thought I would be, which is really good, obviously. I thought I'd tell you as well the other things that I picked up to complement the camera. I got 2 compatible batteries. Now these aren't Sony ones, but I use compatible batteries in my DSLR and I find that they work absolutely fine, and it's just easier because batteries don't last forever, so they're easier to replace. So I got 2 of the compatible batteries. I just ordered these off of eBay. Again, I'll leave the link down below if you are looking to get the same kind of like package as what I've got, but I got 2 spares, so then that means I've got 3 in total, because I don't know, I've been told that the battery life lasts really like a long time, which is great, but I also think that if we're out and about for the day and I'm filming a lot and taking loads of photos and the battery dies, I want a couple of backups just because I know what I'm like. So I got those. I also, like I mentioned, ordered like a separate battery charger to actually charge the batteries when they're out of the camera. That hasn't yet arrived, but again, I'll leave the link to that down below so that you can see what I'm talking about. It's just like a little dock that has 3 slots in it, and you can include the different batteries in there so that you can leave them to charge, for example, overnight. And that actually has like a overheat warning system, and it's a really cool kind of gadget, and it wasn't that expensive, so I thought I'd pick that up because it's easier for me to charge my batteries out of the camera, like I mentioned before. I obviously got the SD card. You obviously need one of those to start with any camera. I've gone for 64 gig, which should be plenty. I have that in my DSLR, but for me, the more memory the better, because I don't have to worry about deleting things and stuff like that, especially with a newborn. And I also got this tripod thing. It's only like a small hand one, and to be honest, it feels pretty like cheapy, if that makes sense. But the reason I thought I would buy this is because I thought it would come in really handy for like days out and stuff. The camera, the Sony camera has image stabilization, which is amazing, and it will film so swiftly, and I'm going to go through all the filming setups in the camera, make sure it's kind of like exactly how I want it, but I've not really had the chance because this is fresh out of the box. But I thought I would get one of these tripods because it will make, when like you're vlogging and stuff, you can insert the camera into the tripod, and it's easier to hold that in front of you instead of just the camera. If you would find that easier, that's kind of why I've gone for it. The other reason I got this little mini tripod thing as well is because it's flexible. So it's just one of those that just makes filming anywhere so much easier if you don't have a tripod or you just want to like plonk it on a table or something. I think I'm going to get a lot of use out of this. I'll probably get like a better one, but I just wanted to order something in time to use with the camera. And especially because this doesn't have like any grip on it, you can use a wrist strap, but I think I'd rather have it attached to a tripod and hold the tripod whether I'm vlogging or whether I'm setting it up and filming, whatever it might be. So yeah, I hope that helps you if you are thinking about getting the camera. Honestly, I'm so impressed with it. I was really considering getting the Canon, like I mentioned, but it was just too much out of my price range. Normally with cameras, I'm loyal to Canon or Nikon. My DSLR is Nikon, but you know what, Sony capability is amazing. When I was looking through the settings as well, the Wi-Fi settings are really obvious, so there's options to just sync to phone, for example. So I need to get that all set up, but I'm really excited to kind of use this a little bit more, get used to it. But first impressions is that this is such an amazing camera, so worth kind of the money, even though it wasn't that expensive. It did come out, I think, 2015, so it's a good few years old. However, with cameras, it doesn't matter how old they are as long as the features that you want are in there. So don't get bogged down by like megapixels and things like that, because obviously when you're filming, the difference, like the only time you'd want to upgrade from like 1080p is if you want to film in 4K, for example. The megapixels don't make too much of a difference unless you're blowing it up. So for example, if you wanted a new camera, just because instead of say 80 megapixels it was 24 megapixels, you're not going to see a difference unless you blow that image up like kind of into like a huge like wallpaper type of image. Otherwise you're not going to see a difference. So that's something that I learned whilst I was at uni. I did a photography course, and it really doesn't matter. We still use 35mm film, and you could get kind of images as good as a DSLR just knowing how to use it. So I'm really impressed with it. I can't believe that how much easier this is going to make filming and everything like that. So I'm really excited to kind of get stuck in. So like I said, if you have any questions that I haven't answered in this video, leave them in the comments below, because I'm more than happy to kind of help where I can, and hopefully we can create a bit of a community of other people considering buying it and stuff. But so far I'm really impressed with it. I can't wait to actually use this a lot more and start using it daily and things like that, and start filming videos. The autofocus when I film is going to be the biggest lifesaver, because for me at the moment with a DSLR I manually focus it, and sometimes things might be slightly out of shot, or if I want to do like a close-up you have to rejig it, and it's, you know, it's doable, but it does take a lot of time. And like I said, with a newborn baby, I think I want to just speed up my filming process so I can make sure I still make videos, but it's just being as time efficient as possible. But all in all, I'm really impressed with it. I love the fact it's got the flip up screen. That for me is the biggest selling point. The Wi-Fi capability is amazing. I can't wait to set that up, have that kind of, you know, on the go. That's available to download for Android and iOS as well, so it doesn't matter whether you have an iPhone or Android, that option is there for you to use. And yeah, I love the build. I think it looks really sleek, really professional. I also got a generic hard case for it. Something like this is going to be so essential if you're throwing it in like a bag or whatever it might be. You don't have to get like the proper one, whatever, it's up to you whether you want to or not, but I just got a generic hard one. Again, I'll leave the link to this down below so that you can check it out if you want to. And I also got accident care for the camera, so if I drop it and it breaks, I'm covered. If the baby knocks it over, it's covered, things like that. I always get some kind of insurance on cameras, because they're one of the things that I notice do play up quite easily. So it's insured for the value of the camera, and if they can't fix it or whatever, they'll just give me the money back, which is amazing. And that was through Amazon as well. And it was only like £20, so I thought I'd get it just for peace of mind. I always do with cameras. But yeah, hopefully this video helps. Give it a like if you found it helpful or informative, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And yeah, like I said, if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I hope that this has been useful and that you enjoy the camera if you do decide to pick it up. And that's enough for me, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!